Today I'm bringing you into a journey to see a really ultra cheap property. I found close by a property of 8,000 euros. Yes, 8,000 euros for 100 square meter. And obviously I had to check it out and give you my insights. Do I think it's worth it? How much that renovation is gonna cost? And what I'll end up deciding. Will I invest in this property? Yes or no? So with no further ado, let's pack our bags and check it out. Let's go! Alter do Chão, a historical town in Portugal, is renewed for its deep-rooted tradition in breeding the Lusitano horse, particularly the esteemed Alter Real strain. Established on the 18th century by King Dom João V, the Cudelaria de Alter, or Alter Stud Farm, was founded to supply the Royal Riding School with high-quality horses. So you can see this is a town with a lot of history and legacy. That was what attracted us on this investment. It's a pretty nice location, a house and the city center surrounded by beautiful historical buildings, an amazing castle, by the way, also with a lot of activities involving horse riding. So we had to check it out and see, is this actually worth it? We are seeing right now the building is this one in question, and immediately what we notice is, oh man, this is in really bad shape. One of the entrances is completed sealed, so that's no good news in there. You need to look at the roof because that's a massive expense, and you immediately see that the second part of the roof is in terrible shape. So that means full replacement and infiltrations. Inside the house, our enthusiasm starts to lower. As you see, it's in terrible shape. The roof and the ceiling is terrible, needs to be completely redone. You look at the walls and you notice some structural issues. It's gonna need a lot of work to get this into really good shape. If you're getting value out of this video, don't forget to show some love to the YouTube algorithm by subscribing and liking. Let me know down the comments what you're thinking so far about this property, and also to let you know that I'm planning to release a course helping you do your due diligence and also looking at some of the biggest hidden costs of a property renovation. Hang on until the very end, where I'm gonna walk you through my Excel file of renovation values for this property. So let's continue. We keep looking, and the other rooms also do not inspire a lot. You see that the layout is not the best, so that means more structural changes. And there's a little backyard, but is very tiny. It can contribute to get a little bit of light on the bottom floor, but that's about it. As we go down the stairs, we just keep seeing more and more things wrong with this property that's gonna request a lot of investment. One of them being that it doesn't even have a bathroom. This is a massive structural issue, is the wall from the neighbor starting to collapse into this building. So even more structural problems to be addressed. So immediately this investment is looking a little bit grim, but let's do the math on the renovation prices. Look at some renovation costs. So a little disclaimer, these values are put together by my experience in my recent renovations. So take it always with a grain of salt. Obviously, if I would consider absolutely going with this property, I would run these over with my builder to make sure I'm not making this cheaper than is supposed, or I'm not actually putting some things a little dramatic than they actually are. But I think this is going to give you a pretty good idea of, is this investment worth it or not? It's not only about the money and the amount of time, but also the effort and energy to renovate this property are some of the things that you need to take in consideration. Without no further ado, let's go down this list. into the renovation details. Is 112 square meters. Something that I would do immediately is to have an architect and have some consulting sessions to get a sense of how to maximize the space here. The second will be a consulting session with a civil engineer to tell me exactly what I can and cannot do in terms of structural issues and what are the most important structural issues that I need to address immediately. We have structural work. You've seen the roof is in bad shape, the walls are in bad shape, so we will need this chunk of money to renovate and fix all those issues. Next, we have the roofing and the exterior. The roof is in terrible shape, one of the roofs, so we will need to completely redo it. Everything from the tiles, the beams, and the insulation that's so important so you don't get a really cold house or mold coming through your walls. You also need good gutter and drainage to make sure you circulate the water out of your house and your walls. Next, repainting and plastering is also going to take some money, and waterproofing the roof. As we go down here the list, we come down into doors and windows. We definitely need to replace all the doors and windows. We will go with double glazed PVC with blinds. We will also need to replace all the inside doors and the exterior doors, and you can get a sense here of the values. This will be for labor and material, roughly put it. Next, we need to completely redo here the electrical part. So the rewiring will be a chunk of money, a new panel, switches, power outlets, you name it. There's a whole lot of things to be done. Next, we have here the plumbing and the water system. We need to redo every single thing and create at least one bathroom. So there's a lot of money to be spent there. When you get into plumbing and bathroom plumbing, all those things cost money and also need a water heater, so there's lots to be done there. What we have next, we go into the interior. The laminated floors, it's expensive. You want to put a good quality material with a cork underlaying on the top side cork. It's going to cost also the bathroom and everything. You also need to repair the ceilings and replaster. That's also a good chunk of money. And replastering and painting those walls as well. So you start to seeing this is going to add up. This is going to add up pretty quickly. Next, we go into the kitchen. We actually need to redo completely a kitchen. Even if we go with IKEA, it's still gonna cost us some money. Countertops, we can go with a natural or a synthetic type of countertop. Then comes a very important part that cannot be neglected, which is you need cooling and heating. We're gonna add air conditioning units, you're gonna install ceiling fans for comfort, and you're gonna install something that's very important and rarely anyone does it in renovations, which is a VMC installation, ventilação motora controlada, so it circulates the air in the house, pulls from the outside, circulates, expels, so it gets humidity down and good air quality. You don't want to be in a house where you get headaches and it feels stuffy. So this is absolutely essential. Anywhere we do a renovation, that's a must for us. Next, you have debris removal because you're going to do a lot of demolition, and you have cleaning. So how do you think this renovation is already costing, right? Let's keep going here to ba-bam, final price. Here you have it. Ba-bam, 100,000. Okay, this house could have costed us around 8,000, but you have 100,000 to pour into it. It's not only the money, but the time, the logistics. You're in a city center, so you're gonna have to ask permits to the demolition and to occupy the sidewalk, so it's gonna be extremely challenging. We initially thought this could be something cool. Acquisition price was extremely low, but now that we added up every single thing, it's a big chunk of time, money, and energy. So we said no to this project. I hope you enjoyed this video that shows you that sometimes something that looks very cheap can end up being extremely expensive, take a lot of energy and time. Let me know down in the comments what you thought. Would you take on this project? And thank you so much for watching. Until the very next time.